The question has come up, why YouTube? What would ever possess you to make a YouTube video? Well, this is a complex question and there's no simple answer to it. I'm going to list 8 different reasons why I make YouTube videos. Number 1, it's a way to take topics that you are passionate about and communicate that to others, to share with others. I've always been fascinated in both technology and knives, and this is one way to wrap it all up together. Number 2, plain and simple, I love knives. I remember the first knife that I ever had. It was a Swiss Army knife. I got it when I was about 8 years old. It was one of the large ones that has just about every tool known to man on the frame. It was a large frame. It was too big to carry in a pocket. What did I use it for as an 8-year-old? Its primary purpose was to take apart stuck Legos. When I was 12 years old, it would have been about 1980, I made my first fixed blade knife. I found an old shelf bracket. It was about 1.5 feet wide for a large shelf that could have functioned as a lumber rack. It was very heavy. It was 1/4 inch thick. The steel was about 2 inches wide. And like I said, I had an 18-inch piece to work with. Now, it was hardened steel. I didn't know then the difference between hardened steel and not hardened steel, but I would estimate it was in the low 60s, maybe 60, 61 HRC. So it was a low hardness, but it was still hard enough to make a decent usable knife. Still, I used a lot of hacksaw blades and I wore out several files making the bevel. For a handle, I used 2 old street hockey sticks. Every once in a while when you're playing, you break a blade off. So you're left with the part that goes over the handle plus the handle. I thinned down the wood so a piece would fit on each side of the tang that I made, and then I put both ends of the hockey stick over it to make a handle. Everything was held together with construction adhesive. It worked really good. That handle never went anywhere. I used that knife for years. I did a lot of chopping in the backyard. I split wood with it. I took it camping. I took it fishing. I used that thing all the time. It never failed me. Like I said, the steel wasn't that hard, but it was hard enough to make a decent usable edge for what I wanted to do. So even at 12 years old, back around 1980, I loved large fixed blade knives. I couldn't get anything like that. So I took it on my own hands and made it myself. And I've been doing that ever since. If there's something that I don't like, or I can't get a commercial product to meet my needs, I make it myself. Number 3, I love teaching and helping others. There is something that is motivating about being able to provide information that helps other people and benefits them. It's just a very satisfying feeling that cannot be put into words. Number 4 is learning. Education is important and we should always continue our education. I challenge you to never stop learning. If you stop learning, you're going to grow stagnant spiritually, mentally, and physically. I started YouTube with just my cell phone and a $15 wired Boya microphone. Even though I run sound, lighting, and video on a professional level at a college, scaling this down to a small room or a small setting has proved to be challenging, and I had a lot to learn in order to do this. But one thing that this learning has enabled me to do is to set up a small studio at the college where I work for online education. I've been pushing them for years to develop a good online education program. Now, where I work is a Bible college. One of the pushbacks is they want the student physically on campus because then there are opportunities for discipleship, which you do not have in an online education. My comments to them are, it's a different group of students. The student that's going to take online education is going to be the one that has an established career, maybe already is in ministry someplace. They're not going to pack up their bags and their family, quit their job, and come here for 4 years to get a Bible degree. They are going to be an online student. So using YouTube, I was able to gain that experience and the knowledge that was necessary to take what I do on a large scale, on the professional level, and shrink it down into a small studio. So look at your YouTube journey as an opportunity to learn. Always strive to do better. Every video, try and make it better than the last one. Seek to improve something. Find out something that you're deficient in and make it better. Number 5. Start YouTube with a business mindset. Even though this is a hobby channel, and for me it's a lot of fun, the experience and the knowledge that I have gained have let me start another channel, and I will be pursuing that in the very near future where it will be more of a business. Yes, the videos will be very informative. I will seek to teach and help other people, but I will also have more of a business goal in that channel. Even in this channel, I do occasionally point people to my Etsy store, which is lcknives.etsy.com, where I make leather wallets and knife slips, and I also make different leather and knife care products that I sell. These are products that I have developed myself over a couple of years because I was not happy with the commercial offerings. The knife and leather care products I make are food safe, so you don't have to worry about them if you coat your knives or you coat your leather sheaths or your leather slips with them, and then you use those to process food. Now, something many of you are probably not aware of, I do make fixed blade knives. Several years ago, Scab over at Choir Boys ran a knife making contest. My entry won that contest. I'll put a link down in the comments below and in the description of Scab's review of that knife. Now, back around 2012, I sold my entire fixed blade collection, and I bought a belt grinder, a knife oven, and all of the accessories and supplies that are needed to make custom knives. One of the things that motivated me to do it was how unhappy I was with commercial offerings. One company would make a handle that fit my hands perfectly, another company might make the perfect blade, but the two were never put together. And ironically, one of the things that really pushed me over the edge was how dissatisfied I was with a pair of Bark River knives that I had. They did not hold an edge for very long, and they took an incredible amount of time to sharpen. The reason I say it's ironic is most of you probably know of all the recent developments that have happened with Bark River. Since that time, I have never looked back. I just use my own knives. They're made out of the steels that I enjoy, they're tough, they hold a great edge, and they do exactly what I want. They fit my hand perfectly. The blade style fits how I want a knife to work. I can't get this level of performance in a commercial knife. So again, I choose to make my own. You know, that's a theme throughout my life. It's just been a constant. Anytime I'm dissatisfied, I figure out a way to do it myself and make the product that suits me. To date, I have not had time to start a fixed blade knife business. Working more than a full-time job, the time just isn't there. It is a process that you have to be dedicated to, and it does take a lot of time. In order to do it, I would have to quit my day job. I'm not ready to do that right now. But if the time came where that needed to happen, I know I could leave my day job if I had to and transition full-time into the knife industry and manufacturing knives. YouTube would make that possible. Even though this YouTube channel is a hobby, it also can function as a backup plan in case something were to happen with my job or the college where I work. Number 6, there is a change that happens when you start making YouTube videos. It's a shift in mindset. You become a creator rather than a consumer. Another thing that has happened is I learn a lot more. When I make a video, I have to think a lot more deeply about a topic. I have to prepare for it. As a result, I learn far more than I ever would by just watching. Number 7 is the people. I have met a lot of like-minded people and a lot of really good people as a result of having a YouTube channel. Now, especially in the slip joint knife community, people are very generous, they're very loving, they're very caring. Gifts are sent back and forth between people all the time. And I am honored to consider these people as friends, and hopefully we'll meet one day in real life. Number 8, it's just plain fun. I have always loved technology. When I was in grade school, I got a TI 99-4A computer. I don't know if any of you remember them. I'm probably dating myself. That was probably the first real commercially available computer, for the public. Then when I was in high school, I got a Commodore 64. And imagine 64K of RAM. What would you ever do with all of that? How could you use it all up? It's funny, today it can't even hold a common photograph in that amount of space. Now, I used that computer when I was in college. I did all my schoolwork and all my papers on it, and 4 solid years of work fit on a single 360K floppy disk. Also, as a kid, I had a Pentax K1000 manual camera. That was a 35mm film camera. No, digital did not exist yet. It was a long ways off. Being a manual camera, I had to learn about ISO, shutter speed, depth of field, aperture, framing, how to get that camera to take the picture that I had in my mind. And that's really what photography is about. You picture it in your mind, and how do you make the camera do what you want it to do to capture that scene the way you see it? So what YouTube does is allow me to take all of these different things that I have been passionate about ever since my childhood. Computers, technology, audio, video, cameras, and of course knives, and roll it all together into one. It's just plain fun, and maybe that's the best reason to make YouTube videos. Have fun. Let me know down in the comments why you make YouTube videos. And if you're not making videos, let me know what is it that's holding you back and what would it take for you to get started.